Hola amigos, me llamo Chris, and esto es Ready to Die Fighting. I was trying to decide if I should try to say that in Spanish or English. I mean, the name is in English, right? Whatever. So, yes, I'm Chris. This is Ready to Die Fighting. Welcome back. When I first started this channel, one of my earlier videos, I talked about the importance of learning another language, and in my particular case, Spanish made a whole lot of sense, just for life in general, but also in an emergency or shit hit the fan scenario, whatever. Being able to communicate with the people around you is pretty important, even if they don't speak the same language as you. I would even advocate that sign language. I would love to learn sign language. Absolutely love it. I think that'd be a great thing if everybody knew at least a little bit of sign language. But the list of things to learn is pretty long, and I haven't made time for that. And I don't have a teacher or anything, so. Yeah. But Spanish, I know plenty of Spanish speakers, tons of Spanish speakers in my in this area. And just, I mean, in America in general. We have a very large population of Spanish-speaking people, whether it's their first language and the only language they speak, or as a secondary language. And so there's a million reasons why it's a great idea to learn it. And I did want to make that part of this channel Spanish-speaking, and it's specifically for preppers. I just never got around to doing it. Here we are, like a year later, a year and a half later. I only had the one video. Sorry. So, but here I am. I found this book. I've had it for a little while now. It is called Aventuras al Aire Libre, which is basically outdoor adventures. And this is a cool kids book because with this, you can multitask. You can work on your Spanish, and reading is, I think, one of the best ways to learn a language and improve your vocabulary and understanding of grammar and sentence structure and just the way people speak and actually use the language. You know, what do you call them? Just like, not necessarily slang, but like is it colloquial terminology, I think. You know, just like the things that we say that doesn't necessarily make sense, but we all say them, those little phrases and stuff. Like every other day. I have quite a few international friends, and I remember one of my Italian friends, and when he mentioned this, he said every other day. He had to really think about that, and he didn't know what it meant, because it's something we say all the time, and we have an intuitive understanding of it because we're used to it. But several non-English speaking people, friends, all agreed that that was a term that completely confused them until somebody explained to them what it meant. And, you know, even think about it, every other day, like those three words. Like, what does that mean? Makes sense to us. And so reading books is a great way to get exposure to those type of terms and ideas. And this book in particular, it says by Usborne, Usborne. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't see an author. Who wrote this thing? It just says Usborne. Oh, here we go. It was written by Alice James and Emily Bone. And this has actually been translated. So this, I guess, was originally in English. So this is a translation of this book. And so it's like a typical kids book in that it's got a lot of nice looking pictures, and it's definitely geared towards children. But it teaches you all these terminology that you may not get out of just like a regular book or a regular Spanish book or even a class. Like, I never learned a lot of these words that are in this book in any Spanish classes that I've taken. It also gives you some fairly basic but good stuff for kids to know, safety, and like there's a chapter on like making a fire and how to pick where to place your tent when you're going camping. Here's this page is here where they talk about trees and the different types of leaves there are, and identifying these trees. It doesn't go real in depth. I mean, this isn't. It's for kids, but you know, it's the type of stuff that I'm into anyway. So if I can learn this stuff in Spanish and kind of review it myself, or maybe even learn something that I didn't learn otherwise. Like, this is fantastic. I mean, even in my everyday English and everyday language and whatnot, I'll still hear these guys. Like, we always call these pods that fall off of like maple trees and whatnot. We always called those helicopters as a kid. And even right now, I can't think of what they're called in English. I did learn it at some point as an adult, and I can't remember the actual word for them. But a lot of the stuff, I don't even know in English what it's called. So it doesn't come up in everyday language typically. But considering the lifestyle that I live and the lifestyle that I assume my subscribers and people who are interested in this channel live, or this is the kind of stuff that you probably want to know. Like here they're giving you some examples of like leaving tracks, and just they give games you can play out in the outdoors. They give you safety tips. Let's see. Here they're talking about making art and things like that, stacking rocks and all that. What else did they talk about? Oh yeah, here's the page on how you make a fire and choosing where do you put your tent. So just a lot of really cool stuff. I like. And here we have like some really basic shelter building. Super basic, but it's cool. If you've got kids and you want to get them into camping, if you know, you're trying to work on your Spanish yourself, like it just makes it easy to do. Oh, here we got some navigating. How fun is this? This is a really fun book. It was only $10. I haven't read the whole thing. I just kind of skim through it. I go over different words and whatnot. It's not like a book that you would just read. There's no story involved. It's just kind of like, oh, let's look at animal tracks. Let's talk about animal tracks. And so you just kind of look at this, and here's some bugs. And there was a page, I can't remember where it was, but they talked about, oh yeah, the next page, doing a little bug garden, like catching bugs and learning about the bugs. So the boy kind of likes that sort of thing. He had a little caterpillar butterfly thing. I don't know what you call that. His grandma bought it for him. So yeah, cool book. I like it a lot. Not a huge expense, but it's a hardback. It's got nice artwork. Fun book to add to the collection and just sit on the shelf. Now, so I don't know if I'll make this a series or not, because I completely forgot about doing Spanish videos for like a year as it is. But for my own practice, because I am getting more serious about learning Spanish myself, it's kind of a higher, it's always been a priority, but it was a very low priority. Especially during the summer, I was doing all that bike riding, all that gardening, I was worrying about the pandemic, a bunch of stuff going on. It seems like there's always something going on. But right now, I'm really focusing on, over the summer, we're going to be doing a lot of reading. We're going to be inside a lot, self-quarantining. I really want to get the Spanish down by the time this is over and we can go out in the public again. So I've been doing a lot of reading in Spanish, and I listen to a lot of Spanish music as it is anyway, just because I enjoy it. But I'm going to try to maybe do a video every week perhaps, and maybe I'll read a bit of this and we can go over some vocabulary words, and if I'm not too lazy, I might even, we'll see, I might even make like a little vocabulary list and put it at the bottom so that you guys can study along. Does that sound like fun? I don't know. Might sound like fun. Even if it's not, it's good practice for me. It's good for me. I don't know if it's good for you. So let's read this. We got a page here and see how it goes. Conoce tu entorno. Estés donde estés y haga el tiempo que haga. La naturaleza siempre te ofrece cosas que ver, hacer y explorar. Puede ser delante de tu casa, en un parque, junto al mar o en el bosque. Eso sí, siempre tendrá que acompañarte una persona adulta. All right, so basic translation there. You are where you are, and you have the time that you have. Nature always has something, always offers you something to see, to do, and to explore. You can be in front of your house, or in a park, or next to the sea, or in the woods. But whatever, you should always have a parent, an adult with you, because you're a child. I'm going to skip this part that tells you how to use the book, but it does give a little how to use this book thing. I don't care about that. Salir de excursión es fácil y divertido, y no hace falta ningún material específico. Sin embargo, si tienes pensado pasar fuera todo el día, vas a alejarte de tu casa, hay que ir siempre bien preparado. No olvides algunas cosas fundamentales. It means like when you're going out on a excursion, is easy and fun, and you don't have to have anything specific. You should always, if you're gonna be spending the day outside, I'm not sure what vas a alejarte de tu casa. Alejarte. I don't really know what that word means, but just by the context, if you're gonna be spending the day outside, or maybe perhaps it means going on an adventure or exploring your casa, or going to, I don't know. It means something like that. Alexa, ¿qué significa alejar en inglés?
¿Qué significa alejar? En inglés es, what does alejar mean?
Alexa, ¿cómo se dice alejar en inglés?
Alejar se deletrea A-L-E-J-A-R.
She's telling me how to spell it. I don't know what does it mean in English? How do you say it in English? You're not as helpful as I thought. There must be a way. But all right, I'll look it up later. So there's always, if you're going to be spending the day outside, you should be well prepared. Don't forget some fundamental things. And so they've got a little boy here. It says un mapa. We got a picture of him holding a map. Una manta o lona para sentarse o cubrir un vivac. So we got a little girl, and this is kind of weird. Like they're pointing to this tarp or blanket or whatever it is, but the arrow's like pointing to her butt. Algo de comer. That means something to eat. And they've got some fruit there. Agua, water. Una gorra si hace sol. So he's wearing a hat to cover his face to keep the sun off of him with his little red cheeks. Look at him. So this one, he's got botas de montaña o calzado especial con buena suela. So mountain boots, or like some kind of special, I guess, shoes with good soles. Gorro de lana si hace frío. So that's a wool hat if it's cold. Impermeable o chubasquero. I've never heard the word chubasquero. Si llueve o amenaza lluvia. So impermeable, I know is a raincoat, but I'm guessing the other words are something like raincoat in case it's going to rain. And now we have con cuidado. La seguridad es lo primero. Lee los consejos de las páginas 8 and 9, 8 y 9, sobre cómo evitar riesgos y proteger el medio ambiente mientras disfrutas de la naturaleza. No vayas nunca a ningún sitio sin que te acompañe un adulto. Adulto. So that says security is number one, safety is number one. Read these consejos, means like advice, read or suggestions or something like that, on pages 8 and 9, about how to reduce your risk and to protect the environment while you're out there exploring. And never go anywhere without an adult. Once again, they keep saying that, so that's great. Oh, here's something. It's this little mouse here. Look at him. They've got a lot of these little bubbles, like the different animals talking and stuff. En palabras de un célebre aventurero. En palabras de un célebre aventurero inglés, no existe el mal tiempo, solo la ropa equivocada. So that means, in the words of a famous English adventurer, there's no such thing as bad weather, only bad clothes, basically. Yeah. So that was a little brutal, but good times. And so this is a little bit of a review of this book. So I do recommend it. I do like it. I enjoy it. I think it has good tips in there, especially for the kids. And it's also a little bit of Spanish practice, and maybe I'll keep doing this if I'm not too embarrassed with the way my Spanish sounds on camera. I'm not too embarrassed by it, whatever. Even if I speak terrible Spanish, it's still, I'm trying. And that's how you get better, right? You don't get better till you do it. You don't get better till you do it. All right, so if you enjoy this type of content, or even if you don't, like and subscribe anyway. Do me a solid. It's the holiday season, almost. It's like basically the holiday season. Share a little love. Give me a like and subscribe. There you go. Hasta luego.